A team that I have been seeing making some moves that I like is Carolina. Got to be honest with you, they've been making some good moves. Sanders. Who else did they get? They got Shy Tuttle. I like that
From the
name.
Saints.
I
Von
like that
Bell,
name.
3 years,
Von Bell.
22.
The Bears are easily my number one right now. Outside
Bears
of
are
They're
making
them,
easily your number one.
Tremaine Edmonds, man, what a
That
move.
was an overpay.
That's a good move.
Yeah, but you got the money to do it.
They got him
That's
money.
so sorry. I don't want to interrupt, but why would you trade Roquan Smith, who's arguably the best linebacker in football? We saw it for the Ravens just to give Tremaine Edmonds more guaranteed money when Tremaine has not been anywhere near as consistent the last
Did
four
they?
years.
What was the contract difference between
It
Roquan and
wasn't by a whole lot, but Roquan got 100 million over 5 years, and Tremaine got 472.
I see where you're coming from.
I get that, yeah,
Yeah, I can't explain why they made that move. Maybe, well, I don't think that they knew they were going to go get Tremaine Edmonds when they traded Roquan Smith. I think they were just trading him.
but DJ Moore to what a
Oh, oh, oh,
what an
oh,
off season.
oh, my winner. How about them Cowboys, baby? What a move. Seriously, what a move. For like, you guys gotta be serious. The Stephon Gilmore trade is a phenomenal trade. That was a weak point last year through the entire season. We saw when who was the number two corner, guys?
Jonathan Wilson,
No, that was the safety. That's their safety. Was it Anthony Brown that got injured?
Anthony Brown. No.
Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis before that. And then I forget the guy that substituted him. He was
Curse.
terrible. That's a safety too. That's a safety. Whatever. Now you're hearing about it. Getting Gilmore covers a weak point. Now you got Diggs, who I honestly, for my money, if I was building a franchise and you said who's your number one, who do you want as your number one corner? I want Trayvon Diggs because I just love his intangibles and I think he's still getting better as a cornerback. You got Diggs and you got Gilmore, who still Gilmore is one of the best technicians at the cornerback position. The guy is tactical as hell. All right, studies the film. He's not going to beat you with athleticism. He's 32 now. I know he had surgery on his knee that was bothering him a lot. He's going to beat you with his tacticalness, very Darrell Revis like. So I love that. They re-signed Donovan Wilson, John. They re-signed Leighton Vander Esch, who I thought that they were going to lose, and they got him for a pretty damn good contract because he's been injured. They kept another guy too.
Tony Pollard, and they
They franchise tag Tony
Smith.
Pollard. They cut Zeke, which is good. Open up some cap space. They did restructure Dak and Zach Martin's contract to open up some more cap space. They've been in contact with Bobby Wagner. I do think I think maybe the Cowboys are gearing up for one big move, whether that be maybe an Odell. I know Micah tweeted at DeAndre Hopkins, and Hop just tweeted the emoji of the shrugging emoji. Like, I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know if they'll be able to fit him in. But I like where the Cowboys are going. I think that a big free agent, a nice. Oh no, wait, damn, that just got signed. Jamal Williams. I think he would have been perfect in Dallas as that. Zeke was that power back, the Thunder to Pollard's Lightning. I think Jamal Williams would have fit very nice as the Thunder. But I like where the Cowboys are going. I really do. I think they're making very smart decisions. The Dallas Cowboys.
You know, you're saying you're in the NFC East. I'm gonna go NFC East too, and I'm gonna say the Giants.
You're a jabroni.
Nah, I'm gonna say the Giants, man. Adding Bobby Okereke, a linebacker that's trusted, that can fit in that scheme, and then also the big
Say
trade.
his name again, Justin.
Okereke. Isn't that how you say it?
I don't know. I just like how you said it.
It might be Okereke, but
Okereke.
he's a great player.
My bad, but very good player, and the Giants really needed a linebacker. Then you get Darren Waller on top of that, athletic freak at tight end. If he's healthy, with Saquon, with Daniel Jones, I think this offense has a lot of potential, and they still need a receiver on the outside. But I like what the Giants are doing so far, retaining Daniel Jones, franchise tag and Saquon. It's left to be seen. Is he playing under the tag or not? Or are they still going to negotiate something? I don't know. But having that in the fold, seeing the Giants make those winning moves while the Eagles are slowly, losing pieces, I think the NFC East is a lot closer than a lot of people think, as opposed to what it was last year. The Eagles were clear cut your best team. Going into next year, I think the Giants and the Cowboys have a legit chance to take this over.
Yeah. And the Cowboys are the best cornerback duo in the NFL, arguably, right?
Cornerback? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So no disrespect to because I think did you guys see the reports last night from Schefter that apparently Darius Slay was never officially released?
Mm-hmm.
Still an Eagle. I guess they may be working for a restructure.
Yeah, they're planning on keeping him still. Yeah.
So I mean, but I no disrespect to them too. I just believe Diggs is a top 5 corner, and I still love Stephon Gilmore. I think Gilmore is better than Bradbury,
Better. Yep.
and I think that he's right there with Slay. Slay is a little bit more athletic still. But yeah, I do agree with you, John. I think they have the best cornerback duo. Jordan Lewis will be coming back. I've always liked his intangibles, and hopefully he can stay healthy. One move that happened late last night as well too. Shout out, Cincinnati ain't playing around. They ain't playing around with the offensive line. They're like, yo, we've had the worst luck for the last 2 years. Yeah, we're spending. They spent, I think, $100 million last year, and they just gave Orlando Brown 4 years, $64 million. Shoring up that left tackle. I don't know what's going on where Jonah Williams, the guy that fractured his
Well,
knee.
honestly, I think they're going to play Orlando Brown in his natural position on the right side.
No, he said because he was adamant. Apparently, Orlando Brown was adamant he wanted to play left tackle, and Cincinnati said, "We'll leave you at left tackle." Then I think that's the report I saw. Because they have Jonah Williams, they still have Lyle Collins
Towards ACL, no?
towards ACL. I don't know. Maybe one of those guys might be moving to guard, or maybe they trade one of those guys. I don't know.
Because Brown got 4 for 64, 31 on a signing bonus.
Yep.
And that's right tackle money to me, $16 million. And he was better on the right side. When he moved to the left, he was a turnstile for half the season. And that's why Kansas City said, you know what, we're actually going to sign Jawan Taylor, who is a right tackle, and move him to the left. We have more faith in him developing. Because, look, Orlando Brown was great early on in Baltimore, but he's gotten worse every season since. Now, Justin, I want to apologize because I really interrupted you when you were talking about the Bears, and specifically Tremaine Edmunds. I did not like the Tremaine Edmunds contract for $16 million, but you were right. I mean, first off, DJ Moore, a wide receiver 1, is huge for Justin Fields. We could talk about that. TJ Edwards for 3 years, $20 million is a steal. $7 million a year from the Eagles. He had a monster last season. He's been really good for them. They had into Marcus Walker and Nate Davis, offensive guard. I felt like they had a good free agency, and they still have more cap space to spend. But my biggest winner, I think, is the Miami Dolphins. You add in, after Xavier Howard had a pretty bad season last year for his standards, Jalen Ramsey for a 3rd-round pick, that defense for Vic Fangio gets that much better. We talk about elite cornerback duos. If Xavier Howard gets back to that level next season with Jalen Ramsey across from him, their biggest deficiency, which was that secondary, gets so much better for Vic Fangio, who's going to have the personnel. I mean, that for the Dolphins was a huge move. And he added Mike White, who I saw Brand's not like. Mike White's a stable backup. And as you say, BC, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you've got none. They don't want to get in the drama. They don't want to get in the dysfunction or the quarterback controversy. They want to get a reliable backup who could come in and play at a really high level. They overpaid a little bit, I guess, for backup quarterback. Mike White got a nice 2-year deal, but he showed in New York the last 2 seasons. He can play pretty well. Or last season, I should say. But
Could have went for Baker.
they're going to have to pay Baker more money, and they don't want the controversy. I think that's a great decision for their part.
Got $8 million. Probably not even. That's probably his max.
What you're missing is that they want a stable backup and not someone that's going to add controversy.
Well, you need somebody that's going to first off push to it, and then when can come in, because there are legit questions if Tua can make it through this. And if he gets injured again, another concussion, there are legit questions. Is he going to retire? If that's the case, the business should be thinking about, again, I always tell you guys, I think about it from a front office perspective, from a coaching perspective. If I have those worries, those questions are in my head, I'm not going to be stuck with Mike White as my starting quarterback. No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get me Baker
They'll make some
Mayfield.
calls to Tom, though.
What happened?
They'll make some calls to Tom, push comes to shove.
Tom's not coming.
Tua's not going to be her in
Tom's
August,
not
though.
coming.
Now, what the Dolphins also added was David Long from the Titans. 2 years, $11 million. Long was probably almost as good as Evans last year, but he was hurt, and he's dealt with soft tissue injuries. So you add in a linebacker. You re-sign Raheem Mostert, and also not Myles Gaskin, but Jeff Wilson, who they added. Wilson had one monster
I love
game.
Jeff Wilson.
Big Jeff Wilson guy, Justin?
Yeah, I'm a big Jeff Wilson guy. Time in
Okay.
San Francisco, I think he can make some noise.
And they did actually extend Myles Gaskin. The question is, also signed Deshaun Elliott, 1 year, $2 million. I like that on the back end. But the question is, what happens with Mike Gesicki? That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to let him walk since the tight end class is deep this year.
Hmm.
Question for you guys. So I didn't expect this. I don't know if maybe John did because he was a little bit lower on this guy. But Austin Eckler requests a trade. Where do you think the best fit for Austin Eckler is?
Kansas City.
Look, he wants it, but you got to think he's gonna wherever he goes, he's gonna get the contract extension. They have to.
So
So
what team would overpay a running
That's
back?
the thing.
That's
Who
not-
would do that?
running back.
Who would do that? I mean, I think the guy scored 38 touchdowns over the last 2 years. John, you're muted.
That's not a bell cow, Justin. That too.
Yeah. Well, who needs a run? Who's in need of running? I think he might go to a contending team. You think, or can't go from the? I mean, but then again, he has no say in it.
Chicago has the money. The Falcons just spent a lot. They had a very nice class.
Chicago, I could see Chicago. That's a good shout.
Yeah, they just
Invest all
lost
of your money
David
in
Montgomery.
linebackers and running backs. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where Eckler could go. Damn.
No idea. Honestly, I think his best place is staying right there in LA. If they,
I mean, dude, you're getting
trying to
Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore will be able to use you so much better now. Yeah. I mean, let's talk. Where's San Francisco getting this money from, guys? What's going on here? How is this possible?
Not resigning Mike McGlinchey.
That doesn't matter. I mean, just like, come on, what are we doing here? You
they're
see
not-
that defensive front now?
It's ridiculous.
What the hell is going on?
It's ridiculous.
I can't, man.
You add
Can't
Javon
do that.
Hargrave on a 4-year contract, $80 million. He got paid by the Eagles a few years ago, but after 11 sacks last year, plugging the gaps, the 49ers give Fred Warner the ideal defensive tackle to eat up 2 or 3 blockers. Javon Hargrave is an absolute beast. You saw with the Eagles how much of a difference he made. For Philadelphia, they lose him, but they have Jordan Davis. They're able to extend Fletcher Cox for a year. Man, I felt like for both of those teams, it was a smart move. But honestly, for San Francisco, losing Mike McGlinchey to the Broncos while they gain Javon Hargrave, that's going to sting. McGlinchey's an average pass blocker, but he's an elite run blocker at 6'7". And now for the Denver Broncos, they take him and Ben Powers from the Ravens. That and Christian Manhurt's one of the best run blocking tight ends. We're seeing a clear sign of moves by these Denver Broncos. It's that they want to build their identity around running the football. It's not going to be the way Nathaniel Hackett had it last season. They're going to do what made Russ his best in Seattle.
Offense. Yep.
They're going to have him go on rollouts, play action shots, and really just have him play in his element. And for Sean Payton, the coach that Russell Wilson wanted in Seattle a year ago, this is perfect. You build up the offensive line. You get Garrett Bowles back, who missed half of last season, most of it at left tackle. And hopefully, Javonte Williams, if he takes a step forward, we'll see with the torn ACL. He also tore another ligament in there. Man, that Broncos offense could get right back to the level we're expecting them to with Sean Payton and a better offensive line. And if that's the case, I don't know how they're not a clear winner here.
I think also about the Broncos is, I mean, they're also apparently shopping both Sutton and Judy.
Which is interesting.
Yes. Well, because I think they're going for, like, we're going to run first team. I wouldn't be surprised if they draft a running back too. But they're also, I think Peyton's also looking to try and get some of those draft picks back because he's freaking empty-handed right now. I know they're looking for a first for Jerry Jeudy. Good luck with that. But yeah, I think John hit it on the head. The mission is clear for the Broncos right now. I like the moves they're making.
One more. Justin, you like Jeff Wilson? I like Samaje Perine. He runs tough.
Yeah,
They signed him to a 2-year, $7 million deal. Speaking of good backups, Jared Stidham, the 49ers made him a lot of money. He gets a 10-year deal or $10 million contract, 2-year deal. I mean, if he didn't have that game versus the Niners, he's not getting that much money.
No. It's kind of like the Matt Flynn.
Yeah.
Matt Flynn contract. Brilliant.
But Matt Flynn got the bag.
Oh yeah,
But, guys, I know we were talking about Austin Eckler. I was just looking through the league. 2 teams that I would love to see him go to, Buffalo or Miami.
Miami, I think, has way too much of an abundance of running backs right now. Like we just saw, they re-signed 3 of their guys. But Buffalo, I could see that. I don't know where
I don't know how financially that would work, but man, that would be a nice boost on the offensive side.
I think you want a power back, and then you add an Eckler as the change of pace. And for the Dolphins, they don't have the power back. And the other team you mentioned was the Bills. they also don't have the power back. I think a place like Pittsburgh, where you have a Najee Harris, like just I'll eat 20 carries a game. You can take 15
Pay
touches.
two
That would
running
be
backs,
best.
Sean.
Oh no, no more. No, I'm as a Steeler fan, I don't want him. But I'm
Oh,
saying a team with a heavy usage back that just needs someone to change the pace. He would be an elite number two. That scores a million touchdowns. I get that. Charger fans probably looking like I have two heads. He's just not
Yeah,
a
that's the
number
thing because
one.
he's not a number, but he's also not a number two. He is a number one. I think you can give him 20 carries.
you can. But you really don't need to because he's going to get, the receptions and the carry. So it
Mm-hmm.
kind of adds up at the
Yeah,
end.
he rushed for over 900 yards over the last 2 years.
I think
Touchdown
Austin Eckler
machine.
is like Darren Sproles, but like on you know what? That's what he is to me.
Yeah.
A
Darren Sproles.
supercharged Darren Sproles.
Nah, Darren Sproles was much more explosive to me. But
Eckler's got makes up that though with physicality, just in
makes all
between
yeah,
tackles a little bit.